this for us.
What's the biggest thing you've learned about this football team?
He's a different type of coach.
Biggest thing I've learned about this football team this summer. I think it's just there's a lot of guys last year that had the potential to be great leaders on this team. I think this offseason I see a lot of guys step up and become leaders. Whether it be doing things in the weight room the right way, getting people out here to throw. On our own, and just the leadership is there a lot more this year. It's a lot more present this year than it was last year, and I think that's a big part of any team, and I think that will help us this season.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think there's better leadership?
I think Coach Ferris and Coach Joel, we kind of pushed that this offseason. We kind of realized that maybe the leadership wasn't there last season that we needed, and we kind of took all these older guys, seniors, and going on my fourth year. It's crazy. It's our last season, and some of these guys putting on their shoulder. They want to have a good last season. We all want to have a great season this season, and leadership plays a big part of that. And I think a lot of guys have put that upon themselves to step up, and whether it's out of their comfort zone or not, they got to do it for the betterment of this team. And I think that's what they realize.
What's the most important thing that happened from walking off that field after the Tennessee game to right where you are right now? What's the most important thing that's happened?
The most important thing that has happened is, I guess, just continue to get better in every aspect of my game and
Game experience as well.
Yeah.
Transfer that now going in as a starter.
Yeah, I know. Last season I got to play in quite a few games and start a game. All you can do is look back on that season and learn from that season. Mistakes and film and everything you can do. Look back on that season, learn from it, and that's what I'll continue to do and take from last season and try to push it into this season and learn from that stuff.
How about the offensive line? Got some experience in the interior, obviously some newbies on the outside.
Yeah, there's a couple young offensive tackles we have, but they're doing a great job out here and continue to progress. And I got full faith in them that they'll continue to get better and better as the season goes on. Yeah.
All right, let's visit with Drew Ott, defensive lineman here for Iowa. And Drew, welcome to the season, and tell us a little bit about what it felt like to get back into practice mode and get the pads on.
It feels good. Still kind of shaking out some early soreness, and we're off to a good start, so it's fun.
Heading into your senior season, what are some of your expectations? What are you looking forward to?
Just getting out there in Kenneck with all the fans and all my teammates.
What are some things that you've tried to work on in the offseason as yourself personally?
Just getting in better shape, better conditioning, always trying to improve.
Any game that you're looking forward to on the schedule for 2015?
Every game.
Every game?
Yep.
What do you like most about Kinnick Stadium and coming out on there, and especially this year heading into your senior season?
Just the fans. The fans getting you wound up, getting that adrenaline rush going, so that's probably my favorite part.
Tell us a little bit about the defensive line, and the defense as a whole should be a pretty good defense this year.
Yeah, we should be pretty good. We're a pretty tight unit. I think everyone's meshing pretty well, so it should be nice.
What have you seen the first couple of days of practice from the defense?
A lot of intensity and a lot of people flying around, so let's do it.
All right, Drew, best of luck in your senior season.
Thank you.
Offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach joins us, and Coach, let's first talk about the quarterback situation. C.J. Beathard coming into his junior season, now named full-time starter and everything. How's that been going for him and for the offense?
Well, I think the biggest thing, I've been asked several times today, what's the biggest thing I have seen from C.J., and I would probably start with leadership. Being the guy, from January on. So, going into the off season, going through spring training, summer workouts, and now entering fall camp, we just see a guy that's really grown as a leader. We see, he was always one of those guys that worked hard and kind of led by example. But now we're seeing, more vocalness out of him, challenging players, if somebody does something wrong. So to me, that would be the first thing, is the intangible of the way he's grown as a leader. The second thing I think is the fact that, since he's the guy, and I just think he's a lot more comfortable, and it has allowed him to play with that confidence. I see things on the field. I told somebody a minute ago, yesterday we had a 3rd and 3. called a pass. He didn't like the coverage. He checked the pass to a pass that wasn't even in yet. I mean, it will be in, but it wasn't in yet. And you know, the receivers got to check and boom, first down. You know, so now he wouldn't have done that last year. I mean, he wouldn't have just reached out there and said, I've got a better idea versus this coverage, and he did it, and he didn't even think about it. You know, those are the kind of things I think that we're all seeing as a staff.
And what about the backup situation?
The backup situation right now, you know, Tyler Wiggers will be the guy. He's the guy that came in and redshirted out of Detroit last year. You know, a very bright guy. The two young guys, we're excited about the two young guys, but you know, being a young quarterback is, you know, is tough. And so, you know, I think we'll know a lot more about them, you know, practice 15, 16, 17 than after, you know, practice 3, because they're just trying to get them out of the huddle right now and, you know, get the play call and get to the line of scrimmage, make the right points, et cetera, and those kind of things. But I know this, they're both really bright, they're both really excited, and they both have good skills. So, you know, we'll see, you know, whether or not, you know, they factor in, you know, later.
And offense as a whole, how do you see it?
You know, I think we have a little more flexibility now. It starts off, we have more backs. Knock on wood. That's kind of, I don't know that we've been able to say that very often, but you know, with Daniels, Kanzuri, the move of Derek Mitchell in the spring was really a good move. He picked it up. He's excited. And then Akram Wadley is a guy that, I mean, everybody can see, boy, this guy can really jump sideways and do some good things. So I think there's more backs that are ready to play, closer to being ready to play than we've had. So, you know, I think that's a really good thing. The 3 receivers all coming back to the play. So, you know, those are, to me, those are real positive. I think our line will be fine. Now, we've got two young tackles that are taking over for the first line we picked in the 3rd round draft choice. There's going to be some bumps in the road, and we understand that. But you know, my first game when I was here, we played Northern Illinois, and Brandon Sheriff turned out to be pretty good. You know, he had his hands full the first time out, and so, you know, there's some growth that we'll have, we know, but I'm really excited about him. And then with Austin Blythe back at center now, you know, he's really comfortable. He does a great job inside. I think we'll have some guards. Sean's brother, James, is a freshman that, unless I'm surprised, he'll probably end up playing for us this year in guard. And so, and then you've got Jordan Walsh, Sean Welsh, Simmons. So the inside looks like hopefully there'll be more guys that can, you know, play around. Cole Croston is a tackle that nobody's talking about right now. Well, Cole's now up to, you know, 305 pounds. I think he was, you know, 182 when he came in. Maybe not quite that low, but you know, now he's been around for, you know, several camps. So, you know, I think before it's all said and done, our line will be fine.
Thanks, Greg.
You bet.